All right, today we're jumping into a playbook for every single creator out there who has a world stuck in their head and a story they're dying to tell. We're going to break down the strategy for taking that big idea, your intellectual property, your IP, and turning it into a fully funded universe. So let's start with the big one, the question that probably keeps you up at night. You've built the world, you've dreamed up the characters, you have the vision crystal clear in your mind. But how in the world do you get the money to actually make it real? Here's the game plan. First, we'll nail down the core funding problem every creator faces. Then, we'll walk through a 3-phase playbook proving your idea has an audience, scaling it up with partners, and then building out the whole universe. And finally, we'll wrap up with a really important reality check on the risks you're going to face. Okay, let's get right into it. Every creator, and I mean every creator, starts in the exact same spot, with this brilliant, powerful vision, but maybe not so powerful bank account. It's the universal starting line for all of us. And that's really the heart of the matter, isn't it? It all comes down to this one core challenge. How do you transform the magic of your story, something that lives in your head, into the cold, hard capital you need to build it? So, let's talk phase 1, proving your idea. Think of it like you're building a house. Before you even think about putting up walls, you have to lay a solid foundation. You have to know for sure, does anyone actually want to live in the world you're creating? And that's where this crucial concept comes in, validation. And listen, this is about way more than just raising a bit of cash. It's about using low-risk tools, especially something like crowdfunding, to get undeniable proof that a real, passionate audience for your IP actually exists and is ready to open their wallets for it. So you've got to stop thinking of crowdfunding as a donation bucket. It's not. It's a strategic pre-sale machine. You set up your tiers, right? Maybe the basic tier gets you the comic, but the higher tiers get your cool, exclusive merch. You're literally pre-selling your product directly to your biggest fans, using their money to pay for the production run, and bam, you've just validated your entire market before you spent a single cent on manufacturing. And check this out. 88%. That's not a typo. That's the campaign success rate on an all-in-one platform like Zoop that specializes in this stuff. That is way, way higher than the industry average. And it just goes to show you what happens when you connect directly with the right fan base. The results are powerful. Okay, you've laid the foundation. You've proved people are showing up. Now it's time for phase 2. We're going to start framing the walls of our house by scaling with partners and really expanding your world's reach. So at this stage, you're at a fork in the road. You've got a big choice to make. You can take the independent path, where you keep total creative control, you talk directly to your fans, but yeah, you take on all the financial risk yourself. Or you can go the licensing path. You transfer that risk to a partner, you get a much bigger reach, but you get paid in royalties. It's that classic trade-off, control versus scale. And if you're wondering why you'd even consider that licensing path, well, just take a look at this. The character licensing market is a $340 billion industry. That's billion with a B. That is the potential scale we are talking about when you decide to partner up. It is absolutely massive. But we're not just talking about action figures and lunchboxes anymore. The new frontier of licensing is pushing into some really cool, unexpected places, like luxury clothing or themed food like that viral barbecue sauce. It's also about digital partnerships with platforms like Global Comics, and using incredible tech, like AI-powered localization, to translate your work. You can literally take your story from a local favorite to a global sensation in a matter of hours, not years. Which brings us right to phase 3, building the whole universe. This is the moment you graduate. You go from having a cool, successful project to running a sustainable, full-blown media business. You're not just building a house anymore, you're building the entire estate. And the next big frontier for that business, it's something called the experience economy. It's not enough for fans to just own the book or wear the t-shirt anymore. They want to be in it. They want to live inside the world you've built. So how big of a deal is this really? Well, that number, 67%, that's how much the market for location-based entertainment grew in 2022 alone. We're talking about things like immersive pop-ups, themed events. This is where you create this loop that keeps your fans totally engaged and your characters always on their mind. So this is absolutely crucial. If you want to attract serious, big-time investment, you have to change how you talk about your project. As you can see here, you stop pitching just a t-shirt line. Instead, you pitch an IP business ecosystem. Investors don't just fund another piece of content. They fund infrastructure, they fund technology, and they fund a clear, proven path to making money. But okay, let's be real for a second. With all this amazing growth comes some pretty serious risk. So we need to do a reality check on the dangers that come with success and how you can protect the world you've worked so hard to build. As soon as you step out into the physical world, two giant threats are going to pop up immediately: the copycat and the fake experience. The unofficial event, the knockoff merch, it's a real problem. And this quote just says it all. It went viral for all the wrong reasons. You might remember this from that disastrous Willy Wonka experience thing in the UK. It was this totally unaffiliated, cheap event that went viral because it was so bad. Now, it had zero connection to the official brand, but that negative press still damaged the real IP. That is the risk of the fake experience. And as you grow, other threats start to creep in too. Brand dilution, where your message just gets watered down. Counterfeit merch that hurts your wallet and your reputation. Losing your creative focus because you're so busy running a business. And, just the sheer complexity of managing the whole thing. So let's boil it all down. Let's bring it all together. The playbook for funding your universe really comes down to these 5 essential steps. 1. Validate with the crowd. 2. Partner up to scale. 3. Digitize for global reach. 4. Immerse your fans in an experience. And 5. Structure your project like a real business that's ready for investment. Look, this playbook can get you the funding, it'll give you the structure, but at the end of the day, everything comes back to the heart of your vision. So the question we want to leave you with is this: once your universe is funded, what story will it ultimately tell?